Mrs. Spitz again. We have a lesson that we're going to do today. It's a review lesson on place value and comparing families of numbers. All right, so I know that most of you have done this in the past, hopefully all of you. So let's go through our families of numbers, right? The first family is called the simple family, and that composes of units, and then tens, and then hundreds, right? So if we wanted to put that on a number line, and we had the number 562, of course, this would be our unit, right? This is our 10, and this is our 100, right? So after that, we have another family. It's called the thousand family. And again, we have these same categories, but we call that unit of thousand, unit of tens of thousand, and hundreds of thousands. All right, so let's say we have 124,562. So here's our simple family. We separate each with a comma, and this is our thousand family. All right, then our next family is the million family. So again, we would have three more numbers. We'd have a comma separating that, so we'll just make up some other digits. How about 890,124,562. And again, each of these categories of families have a units, tens, hundreds, units, 10, hundreds, unit, 10, hundreds. Okay, just to make sure we're all remembering that. Then we have the billion family, right? So we could go again. Let's say this is our billion family, 254,890,124,562. And then I'm going to go up one more, but you know, numbers never end. So we could continue going with families on and on and on, but we'll end with the trillion family here, which let's say we have 102 trillion, 254 billion, yeah, there we go, 890 million, 124,562. All right, so to write a number like this is called standard form. This is how we usually write numbers, right? So if you've ever heard of somebody that says, let's write this number in standard form, this is what it would look like, with the commas separating our families, okay? If we have a really large number, so I'm going to erase this. I'll give you a moment if you needed to copy it down, or you can always pause it on this screen if you need it, okay? So we'll move on here. So let's say we're working with very large numbers, right? Scientists, mathematicians work with large numbers. So they have come up with an abbreviated way to work with numbers. And let's take this number, see if you can figure that out. That's quite a few zeros, holding those family and places. I think I'm going one more. So let's look at this. We have simple family, right? We have the thousand. We have million family, billion, and this would be trillion. So this number, if we wanted to read it, was 60 trillion, all right? Let's say I'm going to add it to all right, what is that? Can you figure that number out? Well, we have simple family again, thousands, million, billion. So we have 5 billion here. So there is a simpler way to write those by kind of abbreviating those zeros, okay? We're going to use the exponent of 10. And to look at this number, we're going to see how many tens are in front of this 6, right? So let's count them. And I'm sorry, let's count the zeros that are in front of the 10, the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can abbreviate this by saying I'm going to take 6 times 10 to the 13th power because I have 13 zeros here. So here's a different way of writing these really long numbers, and we use them with the powers of 10. So let's say I'm going to add 6 times 10 to the 13th power to this. So let's take this 5 times 10 to what power? Again, add your zeros here, 3, 6, 9, right? So we can abbreviate it this way, and we can even put that addition in there to show that abbreviated way, okay? And this is called an expanded form. Right, when we want to abbreviate these that way. And we're using powers of 10 with that. All right, so let's look at your book. We're going to work on the bottom of page 2, which is called place value and comparing, right? And we're going to write these numbers in standard form. So let me erase this. Remember standard, think about standard as being, the thing that we normally do, all right? So we're gonna do some classwork on page 2. Is that what I said? I think so. Page got cut off here. And if you read the first one, it says 203,041. So we're going to figure out that's written in words there. We have to write it with the numbers. So 203 is like that, right? And it's thousands, so we know we're in the thousand family. 41, well, that means I don't have 100. I just have 41. So there's an easy way of writing that. Number 2 is 500. Well, we'll have to figure that out. Let's figure this number out. So write this down. So 500 what? Simple, thousands, and millions, right? The 500 million plus they want you to add 40,000 to that plus 8 units. So write that in a standard form. That means we're going to collapse those numbers, add them together. And if you really needed to, you could add them under each other using categories, but we can write it out. We know we have the millions family. We have thousand here, and we need to add that 0 there. And in our simple family, we have an 8 there in the unit place. So we substitute our 0 from the unit as the 8, okay? So when we read this, we would read 500,040,008, okay? All right, let's look at 3. We have 5 times 10 to the 12th power plus 4 times 10 to the 10th power plus 6 times 10 to the 5th power plus 3 times 10, I hope I don't run out of board, to the 4th power plus 5 times 10 squared plus 1 times 1. Okay, so let's break this down. So the first way you could do this So you could start from this end and build up, or you can start from the high end and move down, whichever way you want to do that, okay? So let's look and see. This is one way I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my 12 zeros in here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's where my number is going to be, and I'm going to mark off my families here. All right. Now I have 4 with 10 zeros after it. So where is 10? Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 10, which means my 4 would go here. Okay, 4 times 10 to the 10th, that's 10 zeros. Plus 6 times 10 to the 5th. Let's count off our 5 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 6 has to go right after that 10 to the 5th. And now we have 3 times 10 to the 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 would go in here. 5 times 10 squared, so you have 2 zeros there. You'd put a 5 here. And then you have 1 times 1, so we have a unit here at the end. All right, so that is our number, actually written in standard form from this expanded form, okay? All right, so let me erase these. We're gonna go to number 4. If you need more time, again, you can pause the video there. And let's look at 4. This number, we have 700,605,000. All right. So now we are to put it into expanded form here, okay? So let's see, we need to make 7 times how many zeros? How many places in front of 7? 3, 6, 7, 8. So times 10 to the 8th power, right? Plus, now we have a 6 here. We're going to multiply 6 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th power. Plus, our next digit will be 5 times 10 to how many places in front of 5? 3. And then plus 1. Right? That's not times any 10 there, just 1. You could put 1 times 1, but I think 1 is fine to use there, okay? All right, so for number 5, we also need to write that in expanded form like this, all right? So we have 1 comma 503 comma 246 comma 0, 0, 0. Okay? So let's see, we have 1 here times 10, but how many zeros do we have in front of it? Well, we have 3, 6, 9. So put that in parentheses. Plus, we'll go to our 5 times 10, 3, 6, 7, 8. 8 places. Plus 3 times 10, which is 3, 6 to the 6th place, right? Plus 2 times 10, 3, 4, 5. There's quite a few digits in this one. Plus 4 times 10, 3, 4th place. Plus, I might run out of room. Nope, this is the last one. 6 times 10, and that's to the 3rd place, right? Would be thousands. There it is. Okay? So I hope this gave you some idea of how to move back and forth between expanded form and standard form, all right? And there's a few more of those problems on there if you want to do those on your own. But thank you for coming to this lesson. And if you have any questions, you can always text or call me. Thank you. Bye-bye.